Hello, everyone. Welcome to a professionally unprofessional podcast. I'm Calvin Atkinson. I did not leak the images out of Atlas onto Atlas's Instagram account, and I'm joined by my good friends Reese and Elliot, who also assure me that they didn't.
Hello, everyone.
I made no promises.
I guarantee if Elliot had those trailers, he would have leaked them like that
Instantly.
So, we've watched Summer Games Fest last night.
Indeed, we did. Indeed, we did.
Not one of the events that we always look forward to after after last year. I got a sense, Elliot, you particularly were saying you thought you were going to be bored with this one.
The Summer Games Fest are never really that appealing. Yeah, there are some pretty good ones, but I always feel like they're way too long, and I'm not a big fan of there's a number of entries, and let's be honest, half of the runtime is just filled with Jeff Keighley's teeth.
I do want to point out Jeff Keighley. Actually, I actually saw an interview with him about a week ago on a podcast with Skill Up, on Skill Up's channel, and with Gerard the Completionist was on there, and he mentioned one of the reasons why the shows are so long is because they've got sponsorship deals that Xbox and Nintendo showcases and PlayStation showcases don't have, so they've got to make time for those ones. That's part of the reasons why it's as long as it is. But Reese, what was the expectation you went in with?
Mine were middle to low, considering past years have been.
Yeah, because I think if you look at 2021, that year wasn't great. It just everyone remembers the fact they had the Elden Ring trailer.
Yeah.
And again, last year was pretty good if you were a Last of Us fan, but if you weren't, there wasn't much there.
In other words, if you were me.
Yeah. But, I mean, this year, some of the stuff they were talking about when they went into it was good. And there was some... I personally thought I'm going in with tempered expectations.
You did ask me my opinion on it. You just asked Reese's. How dare you?
Yeah. What was your opinion, Ellie? What was your expectation going in? Yeah, that was kind of mine. I was like, I'm going to temper them, but I think I'm going to see some things I like. I think there'll be 2 or 3 at most, wow moments. And I'd say if I'm looking at the list now, I'd say it matched my expectations in that sense, because there were a couple of wow trailers in there.
There's also quite a few things we already saw in prior weeks that had already been announced.
Yeah, there were a few, and it didn't feel like the show... But I will say, one of the things that improved this show was the live audience.
Yeah.
Like, it's been... I feel like the live audience reactions certainly helped out. Well, we'll get to one of the most hilarious ones as the show goes on.
Well, one thing that was definitely a plus, we didn't get The Rock promoting his energy drink again.
Or tequila.
Hey, I like The Rock, but even that was too much for me. So, Summer Games...
Sorry if you hear the fan on in the background, by the way. It is warm.
Yeah, no, I should stress, in case you're hearing fans on in the background, I don't care what it's doing to the mic. England is in a heat wave right now, and we're all dying.
Well, it's not in a heat wave. We're just bad with hot weather.
We are bad with hot weather, but it's particularly hot today.
We're also bad with cold weather.
We're bad with weather, period.
Yeah.
Hang on, this is the most British we've ever been. We're just talking about the weather. Let's get on with the show. First thing that showed up was from Ubisoft, which was weird considering they've got a Ubisoft Forward on Monday. It's a new Prince of Persia game, 2D Prince of Persia game called The Lost Crown. And this one's been very divisive online.
Well, it's mostly because fans were expecting something else to show up instead of this.
Yeah, we'll get to
that. Question. What the fuck has happened to the Sands of Time remake?
It's apparently restarted development.
You're kidding.
Yeah, they have.
It's been bounced between studios. It was Ubisoft India. Now it's back at Montreal.
They're doing a Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, they are, absolutely. Which begs the question...
The difference is Metroid Prime 4 is a new game. Prince of Persia's been made.
The thing about it was, do you remember when we saw those video clips in that Ubisoft Forward in 2020 where they showed off that it existed?
Yeah.
Well, I remember at the time thinking, this does not look like a remake. This just looks like a HD upres of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, which is nothing to scoff at because it's Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like scoffing that Persona 3 coming to other consoles.
Yeah, which some people did, but never mind. Some Sony.
In all fairness, those 3D models didn't look quite as detailed as the PSP ones did.
But at the end of the day, it was a case of. But if I feel like Prince of Persia: Sands of Time might never actually happen. I reckon if we don't hear any sort of update for it on the Ubisoft Forward on Monday, and after this, I am now going to watch the Ubisoft Forward. I wasn't going to watch it originally. I am now going to watch it to know is there an update on this.
So now it's Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Skull and Bones.
Now, Skull and Bones is going to come out.
No, I more mean games that are taking way too long by Ubisoft.
Well, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is never coming out.
Yeah, it's been in development for longer than Duke Nukem Forever, for God's sake. The difference is we saw some of Duke Nukem Forever while we were waiting for it.
We've seen like nothing of Beyond Good and Evil 2.
No.
I will say though, Skull and Bones, that they should cancel that, but that will come out because the only reason they are keeping it is because Ubisoft will walk into a massive lawsuit if they don't release it. But if we go back to Lost Crown, I was very interested. I shared with you guys a tweet I just saw, which was the comparison of the like to dislike ratio on the PlayStation channels trailer and the Nintendo channels trailer. And the the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 version, that's got 4.1k likes and 12k dislikes. And the Switch.
It shows the professionalism of our boss, everyone. He's on Twitter while we're recording.
I'm getting the information. I'm getting the information of what the like to dislike ratio, so I'm getting is accurate. Whereas the Switch is 6.8 likes to 5.1 dislikes. Why do you think the Switch version is getting a lot more likes than the PlayStation version? Do you think it's just because it appeals more to PlayStation fans, or is it more because the PlayStation fans were waiting for Sands of Time and they're a bit disappointed they're going to get this first?
I think it appeals more to Switch owners, let's be honest.
It does look it does look a little Nintendo in some nature.
Yeah, with the character models looking quite cartoonish.
Not to mention Switch. Not to mention, whenever you think of side scrollers, the first thing you think of normally is Nintendo.
I will say though, when I like the fact they're doing a Prince of Persia game that's going a little back to the roots of the series, but
also the prince has been kidnapped, so you're not playing as a prince. That's going to be weird.
Yeah, and I also want to say this game does not look great, if I'm honest. In terms of like the textures and all that business.
Yeah.
Like
the biggest crime is that we don't get to play is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Everyone's favorite Jake Gyllenhaal playing the prince. Yeah.
I mean, it looks fine, I guess.
Can I actually? This is something I've thought about with this game, which is. I mean, it looks fine. It reminds me a lot of that game, that Breath of the Wild knockoff that Ubisoft brought out, Immortals: Phoenix Rising, where it's sort of trying to bridge the gap between that cartoony look and the realistic look, and it's hitting neither of them, and it looks really weird. I kind of get that feeling with this one. In fact, it looks like it's made in the same engine that made Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
I say it looks more cartoony than it does realistic. I said the character models are realistic, but when you take a look at the graphics and whatnot, it definitely seems as a more cartoony in nature.
And I don't think those two mix well. I don't know why. No. I don't know why. It's it just. But that being said, it comes out on January the 19th. We're gonna get more of a look at. There's gonna get more of a look in the Ubisoft Forward on Monday. We're not doing a podcast on that one because we can't be asked with Ubisoft out unless they're at E3.
Yeah.
Oh, we might do one just if it's especially bad.
Yeah, of course, we're also not doing this Capcom showcase, I should also point out, because that doesn't look like it's going to have any...
Well, it's also been announced they aren't revealing new games.
There's no new games getting revealed in it, so it's not as if we don't have anything to talk about.
Then.
Yeah.
No, I thought...
give us DMC 6, for God's sake.
Hey, can we get Mega Man 12 before that?
No,
No.
Cal, you're about to play Mega Man.
Or Mega
We've
Man
talked about
X9. I'll take X9 or I'll take 12. I'll take something Mega Man.
No, I played. I've seen what the latter half of the X series is like. No.
Next trailer was another new a gameplay trailer for Mortal Kombat 1. Showed off a few of the characters and the cameo system, which means it's going to be a bit like it's going to be a bit like those Marvel vs. Capcom games where you call in someone to help you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with you, Reese. What did you think of the look of Mortal Kombat 1 that we've seen so far?
It looks good. I am just apprehensive about another reboot so soon after the last one.
Yeah, that's one of my thoughts.
Yeah.
Elliot?
I think it's interesting that it seems like an origin story for some of the characters. Like, you can definitely tell that's not the same Raiden we've seen in the previous games.
Yeah, what?
And I find some of the different canon choices interesting, like making Sub-Zero and Scorpion now brothers.
That's
Yeah.
kind of
So,
interesting.
do you want me to explain why everything's so different?
Go.
I played a Mortal Kombat 11. I remember they did a bunch of... by the end of that, they did a whole bunch of shit with time travel.
Yeah, so at the end of Mortal Kombat 11, Liu Kang merges with Raiden, then gets the power to reset the timeline. That's why he's now Fire God Liu Kang. So this is inside the universe he's created after the end of Mortal Kombat 11 and Aftermath.
So it's technically a reboot, but it's also not a reboot, which is a shame because I must be honest, I quite like some of the characters. I'm a bit mixed on the character designs. Like, it's cool they got Jean-Claude Van Damme to play Johnny Cage.
Yeah, especially since he was inspiration for Johnny Cage in the first game.
Which is weird because everyone if they want to do a sequel to the Mortal Kombat movie, which hasn't been confirmed yet, everyone wants the professional wrestler The Miz to play Johnny Cage in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's basically... The Miz's personality in the ring is Johnny Cage. He's the stuck-up He's basically bad guy Johnny Cage. He's the stuck-up movie star who thinks he's better than everyone else.
Yeah, I've seen the first Mortal Kombat movie. I know fully well what Johnny Cage is like.
Wait, which first Mortal Kombat movie? Because there's now 2 first live-action ones.
You know the one I mean. The first.
Oh, yeah. The first...
The good one.
Yeah, the best one.
See, the thing is, I didn't hate the first the new Mortal Kombat movie, but I also didn't particularly like it either.
Yeah, I had a lot of problems with it.
So I haven't seen it. I've only seen the one from the 90s, and that one's bad, but it's a lot of fun.
Can I actually going on the subject of Mortal Kombat 1? How do you guys feel about the cameo system? Because I have my issue with it.
It looks okay, but it just looks like a way to cut down the main roster.
Yeah.
So rather than develop all these as separate characters, just have them as a few moves as cameo fighters instead.
See, the thing for me that bothers me about it is, are some of these fighters not going to be playable? So,
yeah, it was confirmed.
So that means I can't. If I like Sonya Blade.
Well, that's stupid. That, like, I remember there are plenty of fighting games where, like, you could call in side characters to do like a special move or something. Just because it's on my mind right now. The first one I could think of is that Demon Slayer game.
Yeah, but if you want to, but that means if you really like Sonya Blade, you can't fight as her in this game.
Yeah, we don't know the full roster, but Ed Boon, who was on stage, confirmed that some cameo fighters are full-fledged ones. Like, you can have Sub-Zero as a fighter and an assist, but others are only cameo fighters.
Yeah,
there's not confirmed which is which yet.
Anyway, instantly, if we're going outside of guest characters, who's our most wanted characters to show up in this one?
Well, we've already seen the leaks from Amazon Italy over 2 of them.
Oh, 2 of the guest characters. These haven't been confirmed yet, but I think that's probably accurate, and I'm not surprised considering it was Amazon that leaked them. I think considering the connection of those guest characters to Amazon Prime.
Yep. As I said, we've also got some deep cuts back to the old lore as well. With who remembers Stryker?
I really like Stryker. He's a cool character. I'd really like Reptile to come into this. I'd like Reptile in there. Do you play much Mortal Kombat, Elliot?
I haven't played a single one.
You really? Yeah, you're not really into fighting games, I remember.
Now, as I said, the only fighting game I've really played much of is Soul Calibur 2.
One of the things I would hope for is that the guest characters in this one, they bring back a few more horror icons, because in Mortal Kombat 9 we had Freddy Krueger.
Yep.
In 10 we had Jason, Leatherface, Alien, and Predator.
Yep.
But then when we got to 11, there were some good guest characters in there, but there were also some weird ones, because like Joker's all right, RoboCop's pretty cool.
We also had Terminator.
Terminator was in there. They got Spawn, and then they ended with the character actually became my main in the game, Rambo.
Yeah.
But the Elliot, do you mind if we give away who the leaks were in the Amazon one?
I don't care.
Well,
Go
basically, the Amazon one implies the two guest characters that we're going to start with are Homelander from The Boys and Omni-Man from Invincible. Which I'll tell you right now, if Omni-Man is the cameo character, only character, and Homelander is the main one, I am tracking Bed Boone down myself, because he got that completely the wrong way round, though that I will enjoy killing Homelander on several occasions.
Yeah.
I mean, The Boys
are so similar.
I mean, The Boys is more popular, and that's been going for longer.
Yeah, but Invincible is way better.
Yeah, that is your opinion.
I've said on several occasions I don't really like The Boys and I really like Invincible, but on the here's the thing though. It's also going to depend how long they get J.K. Simmons in the recording booth for it. I think the thing about me is I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6. It's a fantastic game, but the thing that's made me really enjoy it is the modern controls, and I'm wondering, are we going to get something like that in Mortal Kombat 1 that's going to sort of like make it so that I can just hold down a trigger button and press a button to get a fatality, rather than have to memorize a stupid distance and combinations to do those fatalities?
I mean, they started getting rid of the complex fatalities in the later Mortal Kombat games. I imagine they would do that.
Yeah, so they got rid of the complex ones, and you were also able to use in-game currency to do instant ones. So you'd have to memorize the controls.
Fuck, I don't want to spend the money for that.
Yeah.
So, Mortal Kombat 1 comes out...
Big surprise, everyone. Calvin wants an easy mode.
I don't want an easy mode. I just like the fact that I can't really pull off these... I don't really have the ability to pull off these combos. I like the fact I can now get... The thing that Street Fighter 6 has done well for me is it means the first time I really feel like I'm getting the full-fledged Street Fighter experience, which I've not had for quite a while. And I'd love that if Mortal Kombat and Tekken had that, and the hopeful Soul Calibur game. I'm willing that into existence for you, Elliot.
Now, honestly, I would prefer if Soul Calibur kept the controls it had.
Well, again,
I don't find it satisfying just being able... I prefer learning how to do a combo in those games rather than just be able to press a button and it's done automatically.
Well, with Street Fighter, it does actually tell it. What it does help you do is it helps you learn the timing. So if you want to swap to classic controls, that was a timing I had to do when I was in the modern controls. So now I'm gonna swap to classic for this one. Next game was another look at.
I just say as well with Mortal Kombat 1, a YouTuber called Doobus Goobers made a video on Ed Boon, and he 100% predicted this.
Oh yeah, that thing of
Okay, I'll restart the timeline. What? Why? Because I really want to.
You're rebooting your game.
First things first. Reptile dies immediately.
I do love that joke of you're rebooting your universe again.
Yeah, because I really want to.
It's amazing. It's Mortal Kombat's rebooted as many times as Spider-Man. So next game is a look at a new trailer for Path of Exile 2. We're going to find out more on July 18th. Why?
It's the most popular Diablo clone. It has a massive player base.
I know, but there was no reason for this to be in the show. They showed off nothing and just said, come back at a later date, we'll tell you more.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever. Speaking of Street Fighter 6, actually, they've announced a Street Fighter Exoprimal crossover in fall 2023.
Isn't that the game? Isn't Exoprimal that game they showed off at the PlayStation Showcase really early last year? And we haven't seen anything from it since.
We've seen
we have seen more.
Yeah, and
Oh.
they did a bunch of trailers and Capcom showcases. They announced in a previous presentation that it's going to Game Pass day one. From what I heard, the people said that did the open beta said it was all right, but there were issues, and they didn't think it was going to hold a lot of player attention. I think this is going to be dead by the time the Street Fighter 6 content comes into it.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I'm glad it's on Game Pass because it's not going to be dead on arrival because of that. But honestly, this game's not going to last long before Capcom just completely shuts it down.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Just another typical live service game.
Yeah, do you think what I think's happened here is a lot of live service games went into development pre-pandemic, and they've taken really long time to come out because of the pandemic, and as a result, they're coming out and the fad's dead.
Yeah,
and
possibly, yeah.
It's again, I loathe to make this quote because I don't like the person who made the quote, but fad is one letter away from fade.
Who said that quote?
That's a Nostalgia Critic quote.
Oh.
And but it does play the point. It's fads inevitably go. Like, it was very clear from the start. Live service games were not going to be the big deal. It's like it's and Exoprimal is going to be a prime example of that. Capcom is going to burn most of the goodwill they built up really well on one game.
Yeah.
Next trailer got a further confirmation of Nicolas Cage coming into Dead by Daylight. That's on July 25th. That is fucking amazing.
Why did they? My question is, why did they bring Nicolas Cage in and do a big talk about all this?
Why not? It's Nicolas Cage.
Well, the reason they did is that they saw how successful Cyberpunk was, bringing Keanu Reeves out, and they thought, well, we will do the same.
Well, yeah, the difference is Keanu Reeves being Cyberpunk was a really cool surprise, and he wasn't there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Nicolas Cage is one of those actors who sort of realised he's a bit of a joke and he's going to play to it completely.
Yeah.
What was
you
that?
You mean you didn't realise that in Ghost Rider?
No.
Ghost Rider 2. Spirits of Vengeance.
Scraping at the door. I love that line. There's the thing about Nick. What was that film he was in with Pedro Pascal, where Pedro played a super fan?
Oh,
because that was.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that and I thought it was pretty good.
I saw a trailer.
Shall we not talk about Jim Carrey film?
No, it's Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage, and Pedro Pascal pays a load of money for Nick Cage to come spend the weekend on his island.
Yeah,
and it. Anyway, I really want to get.
That just sounds like the plot to Glass Onion.
In any case, Dead by Daylight is currently out. Nicolas Cage is coming into it on July 25th. I need to get more into Dead by Daylight because I really liked the Friday the 13th game, and it looks like it appeals to me. Like this is probably a game where I'd spend an ungodly amount of money getting like Michael Myers and Pyramid Head.
Right, so I've looked up and it's called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
That's it, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I actually really liked. I remember seeing that. I really liked it. I'm annoyed I couldn't remember the name of it. Next trailer, Witcher gets a season 3 trailer. It's coming to Netflix in the summer.
Henry Cavill looks dead on the inside.
Well, it's his last season as Geralt after the writers completely butchered it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was completely the wrong decision. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, it's the only thing carrying the show at the minute.
Yep. And now he's off to go and make Warhammer instead.
Yeah. It's a shame because I know I got a. The thing is, Henry Cavill makes a good Superman, but he's just not been in a film that's written a good Superman movie.
Yeah.
In fact, if any, it just I think here's the and I mean I can go into a whole thing about how I don't think Zack Snyder gets Superman, but Henry Cavill really gets Geralt.
Well, he's admitted to be a super fan of the book.
Yeah, and he really he really Elliot is absolutely right. He really does carry that show completely. And I say that saying it's a bad show. The first season's actually pretty good. Season 2's a bit of a mixed bag.
Mm.
I mean, are you guys gonna watch Witcher season 3?
No.
Not bothering.
Probably, yeah. I think I'm done at this point. It was fine, but especially considering I know this is the last one Cavill's going to be in, and he's going to be replaced by Liam Hemsworth, which is, I mean, talk about going from champagne to cat's piss. Next up, a game called With Fire goes into early access in September. This was one of the most forgettable games of the entire thing.
That is not on this list that I've got up.
That's because that was a sponsorship deal. One.
Just going to show how forgettable it was too.
The thing after that was another look at a VR game that we saw in the PlayStation showcase. Crossfire Sierra Squad comes out in August,
featuring Killmonger.
Yeah, that was interesting. Honestly, I'm still probably not going to get this unless it gets really good reviews. Like, the VR games already cost quite a bit on PlayStation VR. I'm not sure I want to spend that much on it. Incidentally, I did try out that Star Wars game on VR.
Oh yeah.
It's the aiming is piss poor, but and it takes way too long to get a lightsaber. Like, it's the one thing I want. I want to use a lightsaber. How the fuck am I taking this long to do it? Also, but I can go to a whole thing about that one. But anyway, that looks alright. Game called Remnant 2. I didn't play the first Remnant.
I didn't.
I've heard of it. I don't know what the opinions on it is. By the way, there's one I think we might have missed, Witchfire.
Witchfire, that's it. Well, not with I've done an autocorrect on it and not realised.
Yeah, I was thinking. I don't remember a Witchfire game.
Witchfire though, I still think that was really forgettable. I can't remember that game at all. It must have been really forgettable.
No, I remember it. It did have like some kind of a bit of Metal Hellsinger vibes to it.
A little bit of one, but I also thought this is not going to be nearly as good as Metal Hellsinger or Hi-Fi Rush.
Well, that's because it's not a rhythm game.
Yeah, exactly. But
Hi-Fi Rush is not exactly the best sort of comparison. I say back. It does look like one of those sort of arcade shooters, which could be interesting.
But we now come to one of the highlights of the show for me. It's Sonic Superstars, a new 2.5D co-op Sonic game, and this looks amazing.
Yeah, we could tell. We could hear you from here.
You could. You got 4 characters: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. You can play 4-player simultaneous multiplayer. Haven't confirmed if it's gonna be online co-op or just couch co-op. I hope there'd be an online co-op to it, but
I imagine if it's online, it's going to be invite only.
But
I don't see like any lobbies or anything happening.
Wow, does this game look good?
Looks cool.
Yeah, very colourful.
Like it does look like they borrowed a lot from the renders on Sonic Generations. It looks very similar to Sonic Generations in that regard, but it also looks like they've added a bunch of new elements to it. Like there was that bit where they turned to those those floating jellyfish, and there was the sort of like the vine swinging bit in space.
Yeah, Splatoon's going to be having Word Sonic.
Yeah, there is a bit of a Splatoon look to this one, but also weird character to bring up, Fang the Sniper being at the end.
Yeah.
Or Knack the Weasel if you read the UK comic series.
I mean, last time we saw him was in Sonic Fighters.
He was in. I think he had a cameo in Sonic Mania, as well.
He did?
Yeah. He's in one of the boss fights. So you have those characters from the handheld games suddenly show up to fight. A robot as a copy of all the characters from the Sonic handheld games comes to fight him.
Huh. All I'm wondering now is how is Sega gonna fuck this up?
I don't think they are. This looks really good, honestly. Obviously, there's a collector's edition coming because there was one price listed for $70.
Calvin, they fucked up Sonic Origins, a remake of the first 3 games.
Not that they didn't fuck it up that badly.
I've seen you live stream it.
It's been patched since then. It's going better.
Doesn't mean it's going to launch anyway.
In any case, it's so there is definitely a special edition. Sega confirmed $60 is the base game's price tag, so they do have a special edition coming out. I found that interesting that someone replied to Warriors.
I thought it was $50 a base game price tag.
No, $60 is going to be the base game, $70 for the special edition.
You know, there's going to be some people.
I think Elliot was saying there's going to be
complain about that.
Yeah, there is definitely going to be some people complaining about it. There was already some complaints it was going to be $70, but I think if there's a lot of content to this game and the multiplayer works well, I could say you could justify the $60 price tag.
I mean, at the same time as gamers, they're complaining that Metroid Dread was the price it was.
Yeah, I don't get the whole.
Despite the fact that that's one of the best games on Switch, fight me.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one. I do not get why 2D is currently considered so much inferior. Like, because I think if you've got a great 2D game, it can still outclass a lot of open world games.
Well, I think the main reason why for a lot of people is length. Like for some people, you might not be getting the amount of time that's worth the price.
So, like, one of my favorite games of the last generation was Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night, and that's a 2D game very similar to Metroid Dread, but it has and you can beat that game in 14 hours or 20 hours if you go for a better ending.
That's still a pretty lengthy game, and more me like some people worry that you could beat Sonic in like 4 hours.
Yeah, but even then, if it's got that replayability factor, it's going to make up for the DOS. But obviously, we're not arguing amongst ourselves because we agree that 2D games.
Definitely
have a lot of value, and can be worth that much. But it comes out in fall 2023. Obviously, I've got the review dibs on it. Does anyone else think they're going to buy it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I have to wait and see what more comes out about it.
Yeah, because I was fooled by Sonic Frontiers. There's a chance I could be fooled by this.
You got to admit, though, it did wake everyone up when we saw it. Because it was the show was kind of falling down a bit at that point, and then it was like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
When I saw that, my thought was, and Calvin's pulling this cock out.
Moving very swiftly on. We're going. A new trailer came out for Honkai Star Rail.
Yep, speaking of pulling your cock out.
Honkai Star Rail. I'm just amazed the PS5 version is not out yet. It's still mobile only at this point.
I was so annoyed when I saw this. I keep seeing adverts for this fucking game, every time I go on YouTube. I don't want to see it here.
Look, if this game's really good and someone tells me that it's worth picking up, I might pick it up because it will be unlike Genshin Impact. I'll be able to get in on it on the ground level. But at the same time, I'm also thinking Genshin Impact doesn't really appeal to me. I don't see why this is going to appeal to me.
Well, why not? It's Tears of the Kingdom. It's Breath of the Wild again. You keep saying every game should be like this.
I didn't say every game should be like this. I just said this is what people need to be looking at as this is how you make amazing open worlds. How do we do something like this?
Yeah, exactly.
But
do something like this.
But in your own way. I mean, I don't know. I think Honkai Star Rail isn't an open world game because, I mean, that being said, they're talking about this being like this Star Rail, like this successor to Galaxy Express 3.9, and we don't see the space train. Like, that should be the biggest thing about this. It should be the exploring galaxies on the train business. And we've barely seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should basically, in other words, it should basically be Eden Zero to Fairy Tail.
Yeah, it is a bit very, very, very similar, actually. Interestingly, that means, I mean, as I say, I'm waiting for more information. I cannot believe they showed a trailer for Star Rail though, and it didn't have a release date for the PS5 version. I have no idea why this was here.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder that it exists.
Next game up.
Also, it's come out on PC, so I might be promoting that.
Next game coming out. Next game, it comes out the same day as Mortal Kombat 1, September 19th. It's the Pinocchio Pinocchio Soulsborne, called Lies of P.
Souls-like.
It's called Lies of P, and it's got a demo, and they also announced a demo would be revealed of it. They actually kind of covered up the fact this is going to Game Pass. But that being said, Elliot got the review job instantly on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think of the look of this one, Elliot?
Well, we don't really see much of what we haven't seen. As a matter of fact, I think we've seen less in this game than we did in the previous trailer.
Reese?
Yeah, looks interesting. Looks a lot more Bloodborne in the first trailer.
Yeah, you can definitely kind of tell that Bloodborne is like the... I don't know if it's going to be in combat as well, if it's just going to be in setting.
Have you guys played the demo yet?
No.
Not yet.
I did. I got the demo. I played it. It's Bloodborne 2.
Okay.
It really is like Bloodborne. There's a few things they've added to it that's a bit different to Bloodborne, but it's very Bloodborne. Like, I made it to the first boss, and I haven't been able to beat it yet, but I figured out the boss's weakness before we went on the podcast. So as soon as I've uploaded this to YouTube, I'm probably going to take another shot at him.
I'm going to wait till the game comes out.
One of the things they do add, which is, you're going to be a bit worried when you hear this, but it's not as bad as you think it is they do add a weapon durability mechanic to the game.
Okay.
But it comes as, it's like it's more like Monster Hunter in that sense, rather than it's like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, where you've got like a whetstone on at all times, and you sort of like you can sort of take your time to resharpen.
I mean, you do know that Dark Souls has a weapon durability system.
I knew Demon Souls did. I forgot Dark Souls had it.
Yeah, Dark Souls did. Basically, all you have to do is it just weakens your weapon. All you have to do is go to the blacksmith and get repaired.
You don't have to do it in this one. You have to you have a thing to sharpen your blade every so often. But
okay, that's better. That's better then.
It's honestly, Elliot, I've been playing it. I played about an hour of it. I said this is the time finisher said this is going to be in Elliot's 5 best games of the year. I think
we will see. It's already pretty full.
It's really good. I cannot wait for the full game to come out. That being said, I've got the demo for the PS5 version. I'm probably going to pick up the Xbox version when it comes out, since this is a Game Pass day one.
And again, because let's be honest, you want to like get some use out of that thing.
I'm gonna get some use out of it in September as is, because I've got Starfield coming to the thing.
No, you hope you've got Starfield coming to the thing.
It is coming out on September.
You hope
6th.
you've got Starfield coming out.
I'm fairly convinced September 6th will be the release day of Starfield.
We'll see.
Next trailer, a new game from Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, which they got me falsely excited for a second, because for a second I thought it was Trigun.
Yeah, I thought it was Trigun for a little bit as well, but it's a game called...
Because like, when they said manga artist, I was just like, Desert Island? We got Stampede recently. Is it? No.
Yeah, it was, but it's a game called Sandland. Not much more information on it. It's humans and demons living side by side, and this small demon is trying to save humanity.
It is based off a Toriyama manga. Actually, fun fact, they're a bit early with this game, actually, because in that game, there's a PlayStation 6. Sorry, in that manga, there's a PlayStation 6. And it is, and I'm not kidding, it's basically just a PS1, but with a 6 drawn on it.
Oh, I've got to read this manga. But I mean, it looks alright. I'm going to keep my eye on this one, but I didn't really know what we're going to be doing in this game based on this trailer, but it looks pretty good.
My one disappointment, really, aside of Dragon, is that it's a Akira Toriyama thing, and it's not Dragon Quest 12.
I also want to know what's happened with Dragon Quest III remake. What's happened with that?
Mm.
Next up, a trailer for Annapurna's showcase is happening on June the 28th. The only thing that Stray was in the trailer, probably because I reckon they're going to show off in the thing. Oh, by the way, we're putting Stray on Xbox now.
Yeah.
Then showed a new trailer for a game called Throne and Liberty.
It's the Amazon MMO.
It looks crap.
I just heard free to play, and I was just like, oh, this is gonna be shit.
Yeah, it's been out in South Korea for a bit, and it's not got good reviews.
I don't even have to look at the reviews for it. It's gonna be shit.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I'm looking at it now. The enemy designs in it is actually pretty cool. They look like something. They look very Soulsy.
So that's awesome. That would be awesome if it didn't suck. But Warhaven also got a trailer, and this one didn't.
Yeah, my one question while I was watching is how are they all so agile in plate mail?
Yeah, that was it. And then,
like they were jumping and dodging. I was just like, you do know how heavy this stuff is, right?
And then Reese just sent you that gif of SpongeBob saying magic.
Magic.
Doesn't look very interesting to me. Game called then there was Party Animals, comes out 20th of September, and I was like, this game isn't already out. They showed this off in the Xbox show in E3 2021.
Yep.
How has it taken this long for a Fall Guys knockoff to come out?
All I'll say is, out of all the Xbox things we got, thank God it wasn't that shitty K-pop game.
Oh yeah, with all the kids.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus!
The one we have to mute every time it's on.
Oh yeah, thank God for that. That game's actually in development hell right now.
Good.
It's an indefinite delay.
That's great.
Next update for Dying Light 2.
I had to mute while Sam Lake was on stage because him and Jeff Keighley were spoiling everything.
Yeah.
Like just absolutely everything. I just had to mute them after a while.
No. That's Dying Light 2. Alan Wake 2 is coming up in a minute.
Oh, Dying Light 2.
Yeah, Dying Light 2 gets an update. Crash Team Rumble. New trailer for that. Its first season starts on June the 20th.
It's bad.
Then we got the update on Alan Wake 2, as Elliot alluded to. They did go into a lot of detail about what you're going to do in this one.
Yeah, like, good. Save some for when we actually play it.
So, next, what do you think of the look of the gameplay of it, Elliot? Because you're the big Alan Wake fan out of us.
Well, first of all, the effects are a lot more flashy.
Definitely, yeah. Especially considering that we've got the fresh memory of what Alan Wake looked like from watching Ren play it.
His amazing playthrough with no errors whatsoever.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, never make
Still not as painful as Calver's Resident Evil streams.
Sorry, no, my streams were way less painful than Ren's Alan Wake streams.
No, the most painful thing with Ren's was just that he didn't like the game in the end. The most painful things about yours is that you were just terrible. I
am not terrible at Resident Evil 4.
How many shots did you miss?
Let's not get bogged down with that.
No, let's get bogged down with that. You saying that does not absolve you of guilt. Anyway, yeah.
I must be honest though, Alan Wake 2, I'm really excited for it. I'm interested in what they're going to do with it.
The thing is, I read this on Reddit before. Someone said that it's good for people who are already fans of Alan Wake. Does it show off enough for like new fans?
Yeah.
Does it show off enough to get people interested in the game?
I think their excuse is going to be, well, we released Alan Wake remastered, so people can try that.
And also, it just don't really it don't show much in general. They just show the FBI agent fighting one enemy, and that's it.
We got a little bit of a look of Alan in the Nightmare World, but
that was just a trailer. The trailer played that they showed up, like I think the PlayStation Showcase.
But I mean, nice to see. It comes out on October 17th. Very happy to see that. New trailer for the co-op.
Already pre-order it?
Yep. New trailer for the co-op mode in Warhammer Space Marine 2.
Yeah, it's a free-player co-op.
As well as the release date.
Yeah, we also got in 2024. We're going to get a follow-up to a popular indie game. Yes, Your Grace Snowfall. Now, I don't...
In other words, what Red says every time Calvin asks him for a blowy.
Sod you.
He's got to get that pay rise somehow for his mortgage.
So, Yes, Your... I haven't played Yes, Your Grace, so I don't know where... Is this a expansion pass or a full-blown sequel? But it's coming in 2024. I like the look of this game.
Yeah, looks interesting.
No, this is a sequel.
Oh, it's a sequel, right? Okay.
This is a full-blown sequel to Yes, Your Grace.
I mean, Yes, Your Grace is always on sale on Steam. I might try that out at some point. Then we got a trailer for a new game that's been held by the storyline's been held by John Carpenter. It's called Toxic Commando.
Which is just Left 4 Dead, but with a vehicle.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead. Yeah, Left 4 Dead Mad Max.
That was the feeling I got with it, and it looks cool, but we didn't see much of the gameplay. It's apparently coming out in 2024. I mean, it looks cool. I'm interested to see it.
It's coming from the same guys who did World War Z, or apparently Space Marine 2 as well. Apparently.
Ah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to see what this turns out like.
Yeah, but just remember how suckered in we all got with Back 4 Blood.
That's true. That is true. No one's able to capture Left 4 Dead. It still is not the case. It's still the case. They can't quite reach Left 4 Dead's success. Baldur's Gate 3 is getting updated with Jason Isaacs coming in as a character. I like Jason Isaacs, but Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't appeal to me.
As a Gortash.
Yep.
Yep.
Any of you guys going to pick up Baldur's Gate on August 31st?
Nah.
Nah, probably not.
Then we got the big update on Spider-Man 2. We got... they talked a bit about the game and got the first look at Venom in just a screenshot, and the confirmation it's not Eddie Brock who's going to be Venom.
Yeah. A lot of comic fans are not happy about that.
No, I'm way more interested. Who's it going to be?
Well, yeah, especially because those fake fans don't even know that the Venom symbiote has had multiple hosts aside from Eddie Brock.
The one I remember quite recently was when he joined the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was Flash Thompson.
Yeah, that was a spin-off of Asian Venom. But then one I proposed...
Wait, Asian Venom?
Agent.
Oh, Agent. I was about to say, there are multiple races of Venom?
Well, there's sort of those, but that's a time for another day because of like Carnage and the other two ones that no one remembers.
Yeah, so prior in the comics, it was Mac Gargan who played Scorpion. He also had the Venom symbiote for a while. And Scorpion was in the last game, so it could possibly be him.
I've got a theory as well. I reckon it's Doc Ock.
We didn't really see that much like tentacle related to
it. One thought. Maybe Osborn.
Harry Osborn, yeah, it could be.
We did get like that end credit trailer at the end of the first game, kind of implying that he's sort of entering the arc where he becomes a Green Goblin.
And we do know that one of the things, the dialogue in that sequence that we saw in the PlayStation showcase was they need something from the Lizard to cure Harry.
Yeah.
So it's in. So I'm really.
So you never know. The symbiote might transfer over to him.
Can I also point out that the box art in these games always looks terrible, and this one's no different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do they not put Manhattan in the background? The whole thing about it is your Spider-Man in New York.
Yeah.
That conveys the game so well.
Actually, if you do something kind of funny, after the PlayStation showcase, a lot of people were complaining that the world in this game is the same in Spider-Man 1. It's just like, why can't they do a different world? Just like, what, are you suggesting they changed New York?
Yeah.
As in the place where Spider-Man lives.
Yeah, and the whole point of it's a really well detailed map of New York, and of course they're adding Queens and Brooklyn into the mix this time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be a huge map if what we're hearing is correct. And of course we've got the release date, guys. It's October 20th.
Why did they show this off in the PlayStation Showcase?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you guys this.
That was only a couple. That's only like what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago that we got the PlayStation Showcase. Like, I don't understand why they did. I know they were obviously saving some things for this, but I was like, why? Just say in the trailer, by the way, October is the release date. Even that would have been better than just saying fall 2023. It's like, it's coming October. And then we got this thing saying, well, when in October? Oh, it's the 20th.
Yeah, or how? Just use this to show off the special edition.
Yeah, or a new controller or something. Because let's face it, they're going to make a Spider-Man controller for this.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we also get a Spider-Man PS5 bundle that comes with a special outer case of Spider-Man.
Yeah, outer case at least. I'm going to say as well, I hope we do, specifically because I'm still pissed off that we're not getting that Final Fantasy 16 controller.
Yeah, that's annoying. That's not coming to us.
Because it looks so cool. It looks so good. I want it so badly. Fuck you, Japan.
I love... please don't cut us off, Japan. We love your work.
Yes.
It's our job.
But Spider-Man 2, it looks amazing. Everything about it just looks amazing.
It looks so cool. Like I'm threatening. I'm edging upon insanity in October because I'm going to be reviewing 3 games.
Yeah,
because I want to do Spider-Man 2. It looks so damn.
I see. Here's the thing: out of the 3 of us, I'm the only one.
Good.
I'm the only one of the 3 of us that hasn't platinumed the original Spider-Man. So I think I want to platinum the game before it comes out, so I'm up to the same level as you guys.
I mean, I'm gonna try and platinum Miles Morales before this new one comes out.
Oh, see. So what do you? By the way, do you still get the? I wonder, do you still get the free upgrade if you have the PS4 version of Spider-Man, or do you have to buy remastered again?
I think you get free.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll double check that soon. But anyway, Spider-Man 2 comes out October 20th. I'm going to try and get the special edition because I want that Venom and Spider-Man statue. Next up, Xbox exclusive that's getting early access, console exclusive, I should say, that's getting early access in January. It's Pal World, sort of like Pokemon mixed with guns.
Which is just Digimon.
Digimon, that's about to say the same thing.
See, I'm interested, but I'm not entirely won over by this look at it we've seen.
Yeah, especially we've just not seen enough of it.
What do you think, Elliot?
Pokemon's going to be filing another lawsuit.
Next up,
looks fine, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. Next up was an expansion to Black Desert, Lord of the Morning Light.
Which none of us have played Black Desert.
I mean, I remember thinking of playing Black Desert when it came out because it looked genuinely very interesting.
Yeah.
As time's gone on, I just lost interest.
Yeah, it's same here. New Lord of the Rings game, Return of Moria.
I'm pissed off it's not Gollum 2.
It doesn't look very good, but I imagine the gameplay might be there with it.
The character models are so lacking in detail. It looks like they're made of plastic.
Yeah, the character models are not great. They do look like some of those early Blizzard PC games. You know, like in the Warcraft 3 era.
Yeah. I just think it's going to be a shallow rehash of Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it does look a bit like that.
Yeah.
Next up, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, the mobile game that should be on consoles because it looks like a really good update to Final Fantasy VII.
No, I don't think so.
Honestly, the first trailer they showed for the Final Fantasy VII anniversary show looked way better than this, I should point out.
They did not do a good job of selling that one.
Pre-registration starts. I'm gonna wait to see if this comes to consoles before I decide I go to this one. I don't feel like I want to play this on on a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, why not? It'll give you another use for it outside of Twitter.
there's a game that's been published by Don't Nod that I didn't really care for. And I didn't get the name down of it.
Oh, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden.
Yeah, that game looked really weak.
Yeah.
Also, we forgot to mention.
That did not look very good.
Yeah, we forgot to mention Jeff Keighley goofed a bit because he said, speaking of Final Fantasy, and the audience got a bit ooh about it, and then it went to a sponsorship deal where you could, for a food delivery service.
Yeah.
You could,
everyone's.
Yeah, like even in Evermore, you could hear the disappointment with the crowd. Just like, oh my god, suffer. Oh.
But he'll redeem himself later. We now get a trailer for a game which I think came out of Elliot's imagination entirely. Like a Dragon Gaiden, Yakuza Warriors, in another word.
Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. It looks so good.
As it turns out, Elliot's uncle actually works at Bandai Namco and Sega.
Dude, it looks incredible. I'm so excited. And it's
hang on, has Elliot gone?
It's also that we're playing as so cool that we're playing as Kitty again. I thought we wouldn't be after Yakuza Like a Dragon.
So actually, on this point, I'm wondering why is I don't know why Koei Tecmo isn't doing this, because I think Koei Tecmo would do really. I'm surprised because they normally are doing the Warriors games, and they did one for Sega already with Persona 5 Strikers.
I mean, it's done by Ryugo Gataro Productions. They're normally very good, and like just with the other Yakuza games, they're very good with combat. So I'm certain they'll do a good job with this.
Did they do that one that Josh Scorcher put in his video of the game that Dynasty Warriors overshadowed?
Which one?
Oh God, he did it in his top. Give me a minute. He did it in his top 10 overshadowed games. It was like
I don't know if that will be Yakuza. If that will be a Yakuza game, because those games are like never overshadowed.
No, what I'm meaning is the studio that did Samurai Warriors is the same studio behind Samurai Warriors.
No, Ryugo Gataro are the guys who pretty much exclusively did the Yakuza games.
Oh right, okay, I see. So you think, but it's interesting doing a Warriors style game.
Yeah.
Now that's going to be interesting. That being said, Like a Dragon really suits Warriors.
Yeah, my one hope is I think this is kind of wishful thinking because I know you play very exclusive as Kiryu throughout all these games. I kind of hope we play as some of the other characters. I want to play as Goro Majima.
I mean,
he's like everyone's favorite character. I would love to play as him. He's so funny.
So that comes out 9th of November. So you're going to be busy in November as well, Elliot.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna have to make sure to finish Spider-Man before then.
Yeah.
Next, a trailer for a game called Under the Waves comes out August 29th.
Which I thought was just a sequel to Subnautica.
Yeah, I thought it was a sequel to Subnautica when I saw it, but that being said, I've played Subnautica. It's all right. Not my favourite thing.
I know there are a lot of people who really like Subnautica.
Maybe I need to give a bit more time to it. Trailer for for season 4 of COD Warzone. Do not
skip.
A collaboration to win a prize for 75 years of Porsche meets Xbox. Skip.
I've seen that. I just want to say that console looks fucking hideous.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to win that one. Like
it looks awful. I guess maybe if you don't have an Xbox Series X, but still.
But it just looks like more of a punishment than a reward.
Like I went to CX the other day and I saw that they had the one for Halo Infinite in, and that looks way better than that one.
Yeah. Like when I saw that, I was just like, oh boy, car.
I thought it was going to merge into a trailer for Forza Motorsport. To be honest, I thought that.
No, I feel like Xbox will want to show that off themselves.
That's what I thought. And then I realized, yeah, no, Xbox will want to show that one off themselves first. Trailer for a Animal Crossing like game called Fae Farm.
These characters, these characters'
They look hideous.
Yep, absolutely atrocious.
faces look like emojis.
Their faces. You're right. Their faces do look like emojis.
They really do.
It's so weird looking of a game, and it looks like it's just me. Does it look like it controls badly?
Probably.
It's a weird looking game, and it comes out September 8th, but I'm not bothering with that one.
Same.
New update to Marvel Snap featuring one of our favorite YouTubers.
Yeah, this announcement was already done for Marvel Snap a few weeks back, so it's old news.
Yeah, but I will admit the comedy.
Oh, it's Nick Cage all over again.
So we did. I must admit that the comedy sketch we got for it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, of course it was. It was Pro ZD.
I might try Marvel Snap on Steam, but how much?
Everything makes it gold.
How much of it is a gotcha game?
Pardon, Cal?
How much of Marvel Snap is a gotcha game?
It's a card game, isn't it?
It's not. You can't buy cards.
Right.
You get cards through progression.
Do you know, that actually has made me think maybe I'll get this on Steam, because it is on early access Steam at the minute.
Yep, I've got it on my phone. It's my favourite phone game at the minute.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you know what? Fair play. If you're saying it's good, I'll give it a try.
Meanwhile, the only mobile game I still play is Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
Wow.
I've played that one myself.
Next up, get another game going to early access, Wayfinder.
Did not remember that one. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, fuck it. That looks like World of Warcraft meets Fortnite.
Yeah, it really does. It's
Oh yeah, this one.
It looks boring.
Yeah.
Oh, just in case you went past it because it's on the list here.
Yep, Elliot's gone again.
King Arthur.
Yeah, what was that one called again, Elliot?
King Arthur Legends Rise.
Oh yeah, King Arthur Legends Rise. That also didn't look very good either.
Yeah, that was apparently another sponsorship one, where it's the phone game.
All right, I see.
Yeah, it's going to be the next Ray Shadow Legends, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Then there's Unreal Editor for Fortnite. Looks.
Yeah, it was already announced Optimus was going to be in it a few weeks back.
That's a different trailer, I should say.
Oh,
Reese. This is just the Unreal Engine editor that they've added to it. There's an update to Stellaris Nexus.
Yeah, one of the old classic PC games.
Yeah, I played a bit of it with Ren, Joe, and Yan.
And instantly lost.
Yeah, no. I do you know on Civ I can figure out the basics of how to play that, but I'm really not very good at it.
I mean,
complex games.
Yeah.
I mean, you figured out the basics for Civ. You're not very good at that, apparently.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I can figure out the basics. I can't figure out the basics with Stellaris. It's so complicated, and I found it interesting. The group was not hearing me when I said this is really complicated to figure out.
Yeah, you need to dedicate a lot of time if you're a newcomer. Just learning the systems.
Weird game coming out called Space Trash.
One.
Was that sort of cartoony one where he's picking up rubbish in space?
Oh yeah, that one.
It looks all right, but not something I'm particularly interested in.
Yeah.
Then we got a new Star Trek game, Star Trek Infinite.
Which just looks like it's been slapped on a skin on Solaris.
Yeah, it does look all right, especially considering they got all those past what do we call it? The past command captains in there, like Picard's in there and all that.
Yeah, but also the enemy factions as well, like the Kardashians.
Then we got to look at the TV show of Twisted Metal. Will Arnett's playing Sweet Tooth and Anthony Mackie's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I was thinking, they're going to talk about Twisted Metal. True on Peacock.
I think it'll probably come to Apple TV if it's If it's
No,
on
I was
Peacock.
more meaning the fact that I was thinking for a second we were getting a new Twisted Metal game.
We are,
Not
but
something
it's a
on the
bit,
fucking TV show.
we are, but it's a bit further off than I think Sony was hoping.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think it's because they're taking the live service element out of the game. I think they were planning for it to be a live service game, and they just looked and said, "We can't make this a live service game. We're going to shift development."
Yeah. The actor who plays Sweet Tooth is good though.
That's Will Arnett.
Yeah, it's good. It was good.
Well, Will
No,
Arnett's...
I meant like the physical body.
Oh, the
actor.
physical body actors really looks the part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another game coming out in 2023, Lice Fanga.
That one actually looks pretty interesting, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's basically you fighting with your from what I can gather, your past
Your past selves, yeah. But the weird thing about it for me...
tense.
Yeah, but the weird thing about me with Lice Fanga is I thought the art looked better before we went into the gameplay. Like, the second we went into the gameplay, it was like, this suddenly looks a little more generic than it did before.
Yeah.
It looks more like a phone game when it went to real gameplay.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm curious how this one's going to go. So then we got a new game from Ascendant Studios. It's another look at Immortals of Avium. Still coming out July 20th as part of EA Originals. I mean, Elliot said he thought this one looked all right.
I said it doesn't look like anything special, but I'll take it if there's like nothing else interesting coming out then. And the only thing I can really see is Pikmin 4.
Yeah.
Then we got... Reese, what do you think of Immortals of Avium before I move on?
Yeah, it looks all right. Just a bit Forspoken.
Yeah, I'll say that. It looks better than Forspoken.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I was kind of like, with Immortals of Avium, I'm like...
And if you need to hear as to how underwhelming Forspoken is, I put more hours into Golem.
Oh dear. So next up was Fortnite Wilds, the new season. It's got we got the reveal for Optimus Prime. If you ever wanted to have Optimus Prime fight Deku and Goku, now you have your chance.
Even though Optimus was revealed a few weeks back with the new Transformers film coming out.
Hang on, if I got Fortnite now, and could I still buy Deku, or was that a limited time thing?
They probably rotate in the shop.
Oh,
I imagine.
Fuck's sake, I hate it when they do that. That's why I had to be on. That's why I had to be on Fall Guys for fucking ages.
What? I mean, if Deku, surely you would, if you were interested to begin with, you would have gone and been playing
no, it's
Fortnite
not,
sooner.
It's more the practice I don't like. Like with Dead by Daylight, if I want to buy Pyramid Head, I can do it now.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait for a rotating shop. I don't like rotating shops. I just think it should be there. It should be a catalogue. You should be able to buy it.
Yeah.
I don't like it in... I'm going to say it I don't like it in Fall Guys, and that's a game I like. But the next game, the final game they showed off was a brand new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the middle chapter of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy.
I was not expecting them to reveal that this soon.
Until the Twitter account for Final Fantasy VII Remake was going a bit more active, I wasn't either. I thought we won't see anything Rebirth until after 16. But we have now seen it. It's moved its release date to early 2024 from holiday 2023. It's going to come on 2 PS5 discs. How big is this game?
Well, I mean, so far we've only seen the Midgard portion of the game, and that's like the first 6 hours.
Well, no, we've seen in this trailer, we've seen a bit more of the outside, we've seen a bit of Yuffie's gameplay, we saw a bit of Red 13.
Yeah, I meant in the first game.
In the first game, that's all we saw, and that was huge. So imagine what they're going to do with the rest of the world. So, what do you... that being said, this looked amazing.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Oh, it looks great. I love, like...
Hang on a second.
The twin character, the duel, like how you can do that with Cloud and Barrett, Cloud and Yuffie, Eris and Tifa. I think that's all great.
The only characters we're missing at the minute are Sid. And
Kate Sif.
Vincent
and Kate Sif. So
Yeah.
how are we going to introduce them in? Are they going to even come into this part of the game?
I mean, they can't. I mean, Sid has to.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. Based on how Final Fantasy VII Remake ended, everything's up in the air about what the story's going to be like. What does that? So it's a case of maybe Vincent's going to come in way sooner than he did in Final Fantasy VII. Maybe we're going to get a quick change.
I mean, well, really, Vincent was an optional character. Yuffie was, for that matter, in the original.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be optional this time. I think you are going to get them one way or another. I'm definitely going to seek them out, if nothing else. But the thing for me as well is, I'm taking a bet now that the final...
Yuffie definitely wasn't optional.
I'm taking a bet that the final boss is Genesis.
That's what I'm basically building to.
Because they are definitely... Crisis Core Remake coming out definitely, to me, gave me a feel of, right, they're gearing us up to remember these characters, so that when we get into Rebirth, we've got some basis to play. But again, it's where is Zack now? Because the reveal at the end of 7 Rebirth means he can show up in this game.
Yeah, and I've also seen some of the characters from Dirge of Cerberus show up too. The whole undergrounds.
Yeah, in the Yuffie DLC, the Dirge of Cerberus characters showed up. So everything is really up in the air, and I'm cautiously optimistic.
Same.
I mean,
my question is though, will the final game be on 3 discs?
That's the thing. What's the final one? Apparently, the title that people are speculating is it's Final Fantasy VII Resurrection.
Yeah,
is the title they're going with it, but it's also, again, I think people are anticipating Aerith's death is where we're going to end Rebirth. But that's a case of, is she going to die?
And she then comes back as a zombie in Resurrection.
But that's the thing. Is Aerith going to die this time or not? It's up in the air.
Yeah.
What's your bet? I'm going to take your bets, guys. Elliot, I'll start with you. Aerith lives or dies at the end of Rebirth?
Dies.
You going dies?
I don't know if it's going to be at the end of Rebirth, but I feel like she's going to die. She kind of has to, I feel like. It's like one of the most iconic scenes in the Final Fantasy series.
Reese?
Yeah, I think she's going to die too.
I'm saying she's going to live, but Tifa's going to die.
No,
fan base
I don't think they're going to change the story to that level. So, because so far all we've really seen is them expanding the story. I don't know, like, how big a change, if they're going to do that big a change.
Well, again, the big change is Zack is alive, and that completely changes the story. It does beg the question, though, if you're not going to make any really big changes like those, then what's the point of doing that ending where the timeline's completely different? I don't know why you would then make that change. If say, why not just do a full-blown remake at that point and say, nothing changes, we're going to do the story exactly. I mean, that was the whole point of those phantoms in the last one. They were meant to represent the fan base that couldn't take the idea of change. So, I mean, that being said, hype levels for 7 Rebirth, what are you guys at with it?
I'm extremely hyped. It just looks so good.
Same. It just looks... I mean, I'm certain it's going to be really good. The first Final Fantasy VII Remake was really good. I'm certain this one will be.
Well, 7 Remake was a game that exceeded my expectations. And to see this one come out and looking like this, I'm like, what are they doing? I cannot wait for this. Can I be honest? I'm actually quite glad it's not coming out the end of this year.
Well, again, we have 16 coming out.
Exactly, but the plan, the original trailer we saw for it last year said holiday 2023. They've now shifted it to early 2024. I think that's a better release date for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one game that should not be rushed.
The one question though, this is probably going to divide a lot of JRPG fans. How close does it release to the Persona 3 remake?
Ooh, yeah, I think they're going to be like a month apart from each other. But that being said, I want to get more information on Persona 3 remake before I make that decision. Here's the thing. When do you think it releases? Because if it's early 2024, that means it's going to release in the first 4 months of 2024, January to April. Where do we think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth fits in that time?
April.
You think April?
I'm going to go with March.
I think it's March if they want to do a good end of fiscal year release, but I've got a weird feeling it's January. I think they're going to put it in the Forspoken spot. Not a good place to be, but I think January is normally a bit of a dry month. Imagine having Final Fantasy VII Rebirth kick off the year. So, that being said, that was Summer Games Fest. I'll start with you, Elliot. What did you think of Summer Games Fest this year?
I already said,
You think it was eh?
Yeah.
Okay, Reese.
I would say it's above average.
Above average?
Because I went in low, mid to low, and it did exceed my expectations.
Yeah, it exceeded my ones as well. I'd say it matched my expectations, but I'll say this has been the best Summer Games Fest to date, and I'd still give it a B grade.
Yeah, that's probably about what I'd give it. Maybe B minus.
But the thing for me is, when it was great, it was great. Spider-Man 2's release date, great. Sonic Superstars, great. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, fantastic. Great closing trailer. But when it was, there was a lot of moments where it was like, oh god, are we still doing this? I think Jeff Keighley's getting the hang of how to do the Summer Games Fest presentations.
Yeah.
He's starting to get the hang of that. The one thing that wasn't here, and I'm hoping it shows up on... As for things that weren't here, the one thing that wasn't here, and I'm hoping it shows up on Sunday, is Hollow Knight Silksong.
I was not expecting it to show up in this.
Yeah, I think Xbox has the marketing deal on it, so I wasn't more anticipating it's probably going to show up on Sunday. I'm going to be a bit concerned if it's not there on Sunday.
One thing a lot of people were kind of expecting was Elden Ring DLC.
Yeah, I saw that one floating around online. I don't think FromSoft is going to show that off until Armored Core 6 is out.
Yeah,
actually, that's another thing. We haven't seen anything from Armored Core 6.
Well, we got a small trailer a couple of weeks ago that gave the release date.
Yeah, but I mean, not in here.
Yeah,
at least expect to see like some gameplay or something like that.
Yeah, especially because they've been detailing the gameplay quite a bit more.
Yeah.
By the way, Reese, I put you down as the reviewer for that one.
Thank you.
Obviously. It's actually. Let me something in front of me. I've watched a video before of someone like when he was talking about Jeff Keighley was talking about hyping up the last announcement, and the guy said, "Oh, Elden Ring DLC!" Like super excited. Then it just showed footage.
Hang on, stay with us.
Yep, he's gone.
God, like, what the fuck is that from Room 54? Oh, God's sake!
It's all right, Elliot. We appeared.
No, never mind.
But I mean, there were a bunch of really good stuff in this, and 2023 is setting up to be a really great year for gaming.
Oh yeah.
You say that, I know nothing that's coming out in like the last couple months.
Well, we know quite a bit more. We know that Spider-Man 2's got its release date, Starfield's got its release date.
But keeping it's another matter.
Sonic Superstars is probably going to make that time. We have Alan Wake's in there. we have Lies of P's got its release date. Mortal Kombat 1.
I was meaning more November, December.
Like November. Well, yeah, we only have one game because of that leak that we know about one game in November. December doesn't usually have a lot of game releases, so I'm not surprised. I more think Nintendo is going to fill in the gap around around those months.
Yeah.
Which we'll probably see if Nintendo decides to have a direct either this month or next month.
I have heard. Apparently, the direct site has been updated, which normally happens like before direct happens.
Yeah, that apparently.
Like not long before.
I think it's partner showcase. To be honest, I think this month's a partner showcase, and they're going to go all out in September, or we're going to get one in July, like Jeff Grubbers predicted. Let's see. Some great games coming out still. That being said, Nintendo does feel like they're a bit barren in this argument. Like Xbox mostly laid out their holiday plans, but they have a couple more games to show off.
I think Sony's holiday plans are Spider-Man.
Holiday plans of Spider-Man. That actually brings up a point. Actually, another thing I forgot that wasn't here: Stellar Blade. What's happened with that? Sony was publishing that, and that's gone very quiet. I would expect an announcement for a delayed 2024 to come soon on that one.
Maybe Sony's waiting to show that off themselves.
I'm now coming around to Elliot's argument. I think Silent Hill 2 is now 2024.
Yeah.
But as I say, I'm waiting for more information before I fully commit to that. But I think Elliot, I'm now 60-40 on Elliot's side that Silent Hill 2 is now coming in 2024. There's not much else to really discuss on that one, but wow, we've got a lot of good coming up. So we're gonna be eating goods, guys. So
yeah, definitely.
That was Summer Games Fest. It was a pretty good one. We're going to be back on Monday with our talk on Sunday's Xbox Showcase. You got? I've assumed
with all of 2 new games announced.
I'm begging them. Now's the time, guys. Show off Banjo.
No.
It's the Banjo game is real. I just don't know when they want to show it off.
No. Well, can't we already got a sequel to Nuts and Bolts? It's called Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh dear. By the way, I am. If Banjo is shown up on Sunday, I've got permission to be smug as hell.
Only if you don't mind me slapping you in the face.
I'm fine. I will take that slap in the face because I want to be proven right on this one. But the other things I'm hoping a few things. I'm hoping we see Avowed as well. That's the one I really want to see. I want to know what's going on with that one because I love the idea. Obsidian is Xbox's Insomniac.
Yeah.
Like what Insomniac is to PlayStation and what Monolith Soft is to Nintendo. That's what Obsidian is to Xbox. So I'm interested to see what they're doing with that. I think Obsidian might be the start of the show on Sunday. And of course, the Starfield Direct will follow, which will give us a deep in-dive into what that game's going to be like. So we're going to give our thoughts on the Xbox Showcase and the Starfield Direct. But
don't know about the Starfield.
Hang on.
Starfield Direct from me. I don't really care.
Yeah, well, as I say, I am definitely going to watch the Starfield Direct, if nothing else. As I say, so I will, if nothing else, I will put my thoughts on the Starfield Direct on in the thing. But the Xbox Showcase, I think, could be a major thing. But here's the thing: what are they going to close? Since the Starfield Direct's going to follow it, what do they close the showcase with? Is the question.
Well,
Red 4 2 Falling Harder.
No, I'm with MVG on this one. Do not put in the showcase the 60 FPS patch on consoles for Redfall. If that's in the showcase, pull it now while you have the chance.
Redfall DLC.
No one cares. Redfall's been a disaster. Just leave it now. And
Oh, they won't care. They'll still do it.
I think the big thing that they want to end this thing on is Hellblade 2. I think they have to talk a bit about Hellblade 2, considering how long it's been.
No, that feels more like a show opener rather than a show closer.
So you think, but I think we're all agreed. We think Hellblade 2 is in this.
Hopefully.
I don't think it's going to be in there. I hope it is.
I'm desperate. The games I'm desperate to be in this are Hollow Knight Silk Song. We know Atlas is going to be there because it leaked.
I feel like that might close the show.
They might close the show on Persona, yeah. But we got Atlas. So, but the one I really want, and the band, and hopefully the rumored Banjo game. But again, depends when they want to show that.
If they show it, if it exists.
If it exists, I think. But there's a bunch of other studios that have projects that we want to see. Like we want to know what id Software is up to. What is Compulsion Games doing since We Happy Few? I'll be interested where we're going with this one. But also,
one thing actually, I would like to see. Hades 2.
Hades 2 could be in there. Yeah,
we can finally see Elder Scrolls 6 get an update.
I think that Bethesda's only going to talk about Starfield. I think in this, but I think that's what Avowed is going to be. Avowed is going to be your Elder Scrolls before you get Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
But the thing that I would really like to see, but other than that, yeah, Hollow Knight Silk Song is my. I'm going to be upset if it's not at the show. So we will see you on Monday for that one. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.